My name is Nina, and I'm an English Opens Doors program volunteer. I was an international studies major with a political science track and a minor in Spanish. I was actually a legal assistant at an immigration law firm before I came to Chile. I was volunteering for 4 months, and I was placed in Osorno, which is in the Los Lagos region of Chile in the south. I was looking for a program specifically in Chile, so that narrowed down my search quite a bit. And I was doing a bunch of research with my Spanish professor at the university and on my own, and English Opens Doors just seemed to have everything that I wanted. I really wanted to get into the education field, but I didn't have any previous education experience, and this program didn't require it, which was a big plus, so I could get my foot in the door that way. And it also just seemed like it had a lot of support, a lot of various options, and it just seemed to fit exactly what I needed. It's definitely met my expectations and gone above and beyond them. The support that you get before you even leave your home country was actually really incredible and helped a lot with the visa support and all of that. And then once you actually got to Chile, the orientation in Santiago was super great. And anytime I ever had any questions or anything that I needed during the service, they always answered super promptly. The training that you get is actually super helpful. I didn't realize that you could pack so much stuff into 1 week, but I used everything that we learned during orientation, and it helped to keep my classroom management in check. The kids listened to me better, and I just felt more secure in myself from the brief orientation that we got when we arrived in the country. Osorno's, I thought, was a pretty small town, but apparently it's not that small. But it was super sweet. It was in the south. It was conveniently located to a lot of things, and it was super beautiful. The south of Chile is a great place to be. I lived with another volunteer, so that was super specific to my situation. And I also lived with a host mother and her grandson, and then occasionally her daughter and her 2 kids would stay, so it was always a full house. There's always something happening, but they were always super sweet. If I ever had any questions, they would always answer them. I had a lot of questions regarding like transportation or colectivos or how to get around town, and they were always willing to help. They gave me some super sweet going away presents, and we cried, and it was cute. So across the street from me, actually, there was a high school that had free Zumba classes every week. They had them 3 times a week, and I went to those with my roommate actually almost for the entire semester, and it was super nice. It was this group of like 40 to 60-year-old women from the community, and there was like 40 of them, and we just always had a blast, and it just felt nice. One time for the Independence Day here in Chile, they had a big party and they invited us, and it just felt nice to be part of the community. There's a lot to Chilean culture. They are super nice and super inviting, especially in the south. The southern hospitality that I experienced was really nice. They're always just willing to help. They're always, if you have any questions, you can always just ask someone on the street and they'll be like, oh yeah, sure, like go here. So that willingness to help strangers has been super helpful in helping me orient myself in the country. It was actually pretty tough. It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, but so rewarding. My school was super socially vulnerable. The kids came from really poor backgrounds. A lot of them came from single-parent households or households where they didn't even have parents. Maybe they were being raised by their grandparents or like older brothers. So that was super tough because they had a lot of problems at home that transferred into the classroom, but their infinite capacity for accepting me, this random stranger from the US, into their lives and just loving me so much from the first day really made it worth it. And if they were ever acting out, you just have to remember that it's not because of you, it's not because of whatever, it's because of something that's happening in their own personal lives. And once you realize that, it's so much easier to just talk to them and hang out with them, and then from there you can teach them better and just get to know them as a person, and that's been super rewarding. I didn't realize how much I loved all of my kids. I was working with more than 300 kids, and I was like, no way could I ever remember their names, no way could I connect with them each personally. But as I was leaving, they all wrote me letters and gave me flowers and gifts, and we took a million pictures, and I realized that I had connected with each of them on some level. Obviously there were some that I connected more with than with others, but it was just so rewarding to be able to have touched so many lives, and in return having them touch my life as well. I'll start with personally. Personally, I think I have grown as an individual with my capacity to accept people that I wouldn't always associate with or that I wouldn't come across with in my normal day-to-day life in the US, and I've just grown to become much more compassionate and accepting and willing to work with others to get to whatever it is that we both need. And then professionally, I'm actually going to have a master's in education now after this program because I enjoyed my experience so much. I want to continue working with socially vulnerable schools and children back in the States. That's super hard. I'd probably say the kids were ultimately my favorite part. They were the most challenging and they were the most difficult, but they were the most rewarding, and that made my experience. But also just being placed in the South and being able to travel and experience the natural beauty of Chile. There's volcanoes and lakes, and it's so green, and there's cute little fluffy cows everywhere. Just living in that environment was super amazing as well while I was having all of these experiences. As I was saying earlier, I think my ability to open up to people pretty fast, I think, has been super transformational because before coming here, I was a little, not closed off, but I wasn't as willing to accept and love people so fast. And here, that's been super easy, and it's made my experience super worth it. I would say it's worth it. At any stage in your life, I think this is something that will definitely transform the way that you view the world and the way that you view yourself as a person. It's definitely hard. I've talked a lot about the good parts, but there are obviously always, as in life, hard parts that are super challenging. But in the end, when you get to hang out with your kids and have such a direct, immediate impact on so many people's lives, it makes the experience worth it. A lot of people, after graduating from college, I think this would be a very good fit for them because you're still young, but you still haven't fully developed your entire worldviews, and this will really just help open your horizons and make you a better person. Be flexible. Be flexible, be willing to work with the people around you, and be willing to have your life transformed.